They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Our intentions were to introduce the world to Morgan's one-of-a-kind movie review system, designed to eliminate as much subjectivity as possible. That road led to hell, all right. A hell known as Wonder Woman 1984. This is They Call Me Uncle.
Welcome back to They Call Me Uncle. So a few more stats that came out of my movie list were the total number of movies, like I said, was 2,035. The most movies viewed in a single year was 55 movies that were released in 2005. The most movies viewed in a decade was 435 released in the 80s. I was a little surprised that the biggest decade for me was the 80s.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oldest,
It doesn't surprise me at all, knowing you.
It's true.
It's when pop culture was huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was like the golden era of pop culture.
It wasn't great for superhero movies.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Like, it even
Couldn't tell
defies,
that.
like, the 1970s, where you were telling me you would watch anything that came to Lyman.
Yeah. Now, the oldest movie that I've seen all the way through was Dracula, released February 14th, 1931. I didn't see it when it came out, of course. The latest movie I viewed was tonight, and it was Wonder Woman 1984, and that was released on Christmas Day in 2020. And we're going to do a full review of that here in just a minute. So, this scoring system or ranking system,
Shown here.
when I told these guys about it, we talked about it quite a bit, and we changed a lot of the terminology. And what we talked about was when you are watching a movie, you're investing time and money. And so with our scoring system, if the movie, let's say you're scoring it on an overall movie, if it's a 5, that means you saw it and you will go buy it. You will invest more time and more money because you enjoyed it so much. You have to own it and watch it again anytime you want.
The movie you loved so much that you will buy it even though you are aware it's on streaming.
Well,
High praise.
and I've had movies that I owned on a VHS tape, and then I owned it on a DVD, and now I own it for streaming. And so
Don't forget Blu-ray.
Of course.
A lot of my skipped Blu-ray and went right to
Okay.
streaming.
What about those, even the 5s, I would say, are the ones you've lost and then bought again?
Bought again. Oh, and I've got some that's happened.
Yeah.
Ones you've loaned out but wanted back so much that you just bought another.
Maybe you even liked it so much you bought it and you gave it to a friend.
Ah, yes.
Or a family member.
I've done that too.
Now, if you give it a 4, that means you'll invest more time, but not more money. So you'll watch it again if it's available for free. Comes on. How many of those movies, it comes on TV and you end up watching it even with the commercials?
Yes.
And sometimes you go, I ought to just go buy that thing. But
Or
there's
put it in.
movies
Yes.
that just you watch when they're on.
Got a few.
Now, a 3, which is where the majority of the movies in my list end up, is I saw it once, but I won't invest any more time or any more money.
Saw the elephant.
Saw it once, didn't need to see it again. So, and that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it was a decent investment. Now is where it gets tricky.
Oh, yeah. These are the fun ones.
This is the only one that I feel like still kind of subjective. These others are all based on what you did after you saw the movie. A 2 is you finished watching it, but you didn't want to. It was a waste of your time. Now, what could cause that to happen? Maybe you're on a date. Or like me, there's times Karen wants to watch a movie that I don't really want to watch, and pretty soon I'm playing Sudoku on my phone or solitaire on my laptop, and so there are times, maybe you're babysitting and the kid wants to watch
that's a good
Sleeping Beauty. Addie, I know you're out there. I watched that like 34 times. I kept track.
Well, I thought Sleeping Beauty was okay. But
It was okay the first 10 times.
So you got through it. You didn't necessarily want to. You would never watch it again. Now, number one is you cut your loss. You didn't finish watching it. You rented it. You went to the theater. Whatever it was, you just stopped watching it and are like, nope, I'm done. And then zero.
I coined the zero.
Yes, he did. He invented the zero. Means no time. You refuse to watch any of it.
Oh, yeah.
And
what are those, huh?
Well, what's interesting is there's movies where
Like
the
on moral
subject
principle
matter,
or...
I'm not going to watch it. In today's world, I personally avoid watching celebrities be interviewed because some of them are so offensive, or they declare that the movie or the franchise is their platform to push something on us, that it will sour me against their movies, and I just refuse to watch them. There are definitely actors and actresses that I won't go to their movies. Yes. Even if it's free, I won't watch it. I will not support them. And as a viewer, that's my right, so it's all good. Yeah. So, and what they're hinting around at, I don't like sharks in the movies.
Sharks?
I don't even watch commercials for shark movies.
Oh, Shark Week is just...
Shark Week is hell week. I have a real issue with sharks in movies. And those are zero movies for me.
Like, won't even go.
Won't even go. There is nothing that will make me watch a shark movie.
Mason, what's yours?
Oh, I guess for cult classic movies that I really love, that they make a second version to, and it's a bigger budget, but the writing has gone downhill, such as Donnie Darko, one of my all-time favorite movies. They made S. Darko, and I refused to watch it because Donnie Darko was so good on its own. They didn't have to make a second one. I made that mistake with Butterfly Effect 2, and I wish I wouldn't have watched it. And so, but I guess that leaves my ranking to a number 2 on Butterfly Effect 2. Carter?
Excellent answer. I've got a handful. I used to heavily boycott M. Night Shyamalan because of the Airbender movie, but as a mark of personal growth, I have moved past that. I will give him a shot now. But also, in a similar vein to you, direct-to-video Disney sequels.
I don't think I've ever watched one.
Don't.
You're not missing.
Unless it's the third Aladdin. That one actually wasn't bad, but...
Oh, was that the King of Thieves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a very low bar to clear. Like, of the 1,000+ movies I own, I vow to watch every single one at least once. Except for a single freebie I gave myself, and that is Mulan 2. And believe me, it was down to Mulan 2 and Hunchback 2. And my final zero category, dog movies.
Oh, yeah.
If it's about a dog, I'm not watching that. They all end the same way. And what's worse is that one with the dog that reincarnates itself. So not only does the dog die, it dies every act.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Fluke.
Anybody who's seen Old Yeller has suffered through that and I do not recommend that.
No, the doctor comes, right?
But here's another one.
The doctor.
One of the first dates I ever went on was I went to the theater, show house in Lyman, and saw Where the Red Fern Grows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that girl didn't speak to me for a week because she cried through the whole end. It was so sad. It was just oh my gosh, that was bad.
Yep.
So now,
dog movies.
One thing is, by introducing you to the scoring, you'll hear us in our other panels. Normally, we're going to cover movie reviews are just a little piece of the thing we do. This one, we're only going to do the movie review, but normally there's a lot more to it. But you'll hear us talk about 5-star moments, 4-star moments, 2-star moments. And so now you're all on the same page with us. And the other thing we've done is we've made a scoreboard. So the movie we just watched tonight, Wonder Woman 1984, as we watched it, we not only scored the movie as a whole, we scored it every 5 minutes. Because that's the most granular that made sense to us. So every 5 minutes we gave what we just watched a score from 0 to 5. And then you average those scores and it tells you kind of where you ended up with it. So you don't get so many ties.
But Carter pointed this out that since we're already watching it, we already give it a 1. We're already past 1. So, just so
if you're determined to watch it through to the end, it automatically is a 2, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it just can go up from there.
Yeah, and so I guess the one problem that I kind of have with reviews and stuff like that is, like, we're not making the movie. We're not the people. We're not the ones in the ring, in the Coliseum, with the dirt on our face. So we don't understand the full complexities of what you guys are doing out there if you're a movie person, per se. But we're already we're giving you the benefit of the doubt. We're trying to. But also, as, I guess, just a consumer who is passionate about this as well. I guess what I'm trying to do is shine it in a good light.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in our panels going forward, we're not only going to show you our scoreboards, we're going to make a scoreboard for you. So if you make comments, we will grab those. So score them from 0 to 5, and you can score them on the whole movie, on 10 minutes, 5, whatever works for you. But use the system. Tell us what you think of the movie, and we will tabulate those. And at the end of every panel that we've looked at a movie or a TV episode, we will show you, the viewers, your scores and how they match up with our scores. Just for fun. Just remember, everything we do is just for fun. If it's not fun, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. So, as kind of a precursor, I saw the first Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot. I really liked it. Yeah. And on one of our panels, we're actually going to go over that movie.
Because I haven't seen it.
And Mason hasn't seen it, so it's going to be fun.
And I'd love to watch it.
And because she does fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But this movie was, to be honest, if I wasn't committed to getting through this movie to get to a score, within the first 45 minutes, I'd have stopped and walked out.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, it kind of felt like Wonder Woman was kind of a minor character in her own movie. All the scenes with Maxwell Lord and Cheetah, Kristen Wiig, were kind of cringy, and
just pick an accent, man.
Oh, and the dialogue was bad. The plot didn't make sense.
It was the longest episode of Fairly Odd Parents I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was hard to get through it. I would not recommend it. My score came out at a 2.724, which a 3 means I saw it and it was fine, but I wouldn't watch it again. Well, this was below that. I didn't quit on it. It had one 4-star moment that actually made me laugh.
Yeah, it got us through the rest of it alive,
And fortunately, it came soon after. The introduction of Maxwell Lord especially had me ready to stop. It was just not... I was really disappointed. So my score, 2.724. Mason?
Okay, so, like we said, I haven't watched the first Wonder Woman. And I assume that it's awesome because a lot of people said good things about it, but I don't know until I watch it. So I came into it not really knowing, other than Wonder Woman's gotta be a badass, is all that I was thinking. And it seemed like she was really sad because she had lost something that I didn't know about, but they tell you who's in the movie right at the beginning of the movie, and I knew who Chris Pine was, of course, because he was in Star Trek, and I really like Star Trek, the new one, of course, and he was in some other movies that I liked a lot too, that I can't remember at the present moment. And then Carter's like, well, spoiler alert, and I was like, what are you talking about?
He's just mentioned in the credits that he's like, coming back.
He's like, he died, and I was like, what? Okay, so now I'm looking at ways to bring him back, and then the next thing you know, there's this special crystal.
the crystal. It looks like a bong.
A bong or something that...
We can't say on the show.
Vibrates. But anyway, it was awesome. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt because I know that a lot of people work hard on all these things, and some of it was visually pleasing, but a lot of the dialogue kind of got my bag of cats in my brain looking around at other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you lost interest.
Yeah, I just get distracted easily, and
that's when the riffing happens.
We were having such a good time together watching it and riffing on it a little bit and, putting our own dialogue in it. It's better to watch movies with friends.
Absolutely.
So go watch movies with friends and, have fun. It's about making an atmosphere but, sometimes people don't like watching movies with other people because they want to watch the movies and be immersed in it. So if you're that kind of person, then I would say do this by yourself. But I honestly thought I was giving it the benefit of the doubt and scoring it pretty solid, but my score came out to be 2.82, so very close to Uncle's.
Off by about point, yeah.
It was mainly 3 moments. I had 2 4-star moments. I liked the mall scene because Carter will explain the 80s.
80s, man. It burns.
So, and then I don't want to spoil anything. So
I'm going to.
Reviews
don't worry.
Are full of spoilers.
Okay, so there will be some
If you won't, I will.
But anyway, other than that, Invisible Jet, of course, that was awesome. That was the best part of the movie.
Invisible Jet.
So, that's about it for me. Carter.
I took to Morgan's task of trying his system of grading to heart. So not only did I grade it, I took notes that I would love to share with you now.
Oh, and we want you to share.
So good.
Every 5 minutes, I would just jot down as much as I could in the space of a line in a text message. Okay, so opening scene, Jungle Gym Olympics. Point made, Mary Sue. The 80s, it burns. Backstory, etc. Bechdel Test. And then that's the introduction.
Wait, explain what a Bechdel Test is.
Thank you, Mason. The Bechdel Test is a standard on movies in which you only have to do 2 things. You have to have 2 or more female characters with a proper name, and they have to talk about anything that's not men. I think it's a pretty reasonable test you can pass, but at the same time, I've never seen a movie trying that hard to do it.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. This is also at the point where the crystal wishing bong appeared for the first time.
We're going to show an image of it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see.
I want to see, your artist depiction of it.
Well, here's the crystal. And here's a bong.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
All right, moving on. Awkward script. Who the censored wrote this? Pedro Pascal tries too hard, which is hard to hear because I like him.
I do too.
Mando.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. He swipes the wishing bong. Chris Pine hijacks a body.
Hijack plane.
No, he hijacked a body.
Yeah,
That's
his
worse.
soul straight up steals some dude's body.
Random.
Plane term. He's a pilot into a body. Hijack.
Yeah. Don't try to hide it. You know what he did. He hijacked. Pedro grants wishes, which I thought was like the better part of the movie because of how it spiraled. Chris Pine versus the future.
And
The future wins.
They did that better in the first movie because the roles were switched, and it was so good. This was so not good.
And I don't know because I haven't seen
I know you're gonna like the first one a lot better.
The plot doth thickens. Dialogue markedly improves. That's the moment I would like you to share after this. All right. And I made a point of noting, never been so attracted to Kristen Wiig. So, power to her.
Yeah, she kicked the...
Yeah, she did. She basically kicks a pervert to death, yes.
Yay.
Yeah. The Middle East goes straight to hell. Fun, if completely absurd action scene on the road.
Yeah.
Totally different movie at the hour 30 mark.
Yeah.
Wishes have consequences.
Bum, bum, bum.
That was kind of the theme of the whole movie.
And then it starts grasping at straws. You know, Bart. Then White House downhill. The Cold War heats up. Then sad times all around.
Yeah.
Wishes go awry.
Oh no.
And then the battle of the Oscar statuette versus the CGI cat lady.
Oh, and it made you think of those horrible previews for cats.
Yep, jellicles.
Oh, that was bad.
And then we get to the final 3 segments, which were all 2s. All right, beats the villain with a monologue.
Yes.
Yes. And
How did the lasso snake up to his leg?
yeah, there's like this windstorm. She can't get the lasso.
Could do anything it wanted.
It's just like, don't worry, I'll get her, Wonder Woman.
And then it pulls an endgame, which on our endgame panel I have issue with. Because, like, it's a complete reversal of all the dramatic things they did for the entire movie. This one did it even worse.
I think it would have been hilarious if they'd have just run the whole movie backward really fast.
Yeah.
Would have been cool.
Tragically, no.
They almost
They
did.
did some of it.
They were tempted.
Yep.
And then, to end it, happy ending for everyone.
Hallmark ending.
It looked like a friggin' Hallmark movie at the end.
So, one thing you'll hear us talk about is we appreciate a good villain, but the villain needs to get what's coming to him. There needs to be justice. These villains got a hand wave. Whatever.
We sure learned our lesson.
Well, the one thing that kind of bugged me, and it's true, but it's like all these people had bad pasts, but that doesn't mean you make the future too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, you saw the villain's past and why he tried to get where he was to try to make his son proud so that he could be proud.
Yeah.
But then he took it too far. And it's just like, but he got his son back?
Yeah, he did. He gets his son back.
You know, maybe...
His several wars he started are just... That didn't happen. And, like, that magical journey of my notes just brought me to the surprisingly high score of 3.034.
So, yep.
Which I think happened because, like, the moments that I ranked at 3 or higher, what happened before was so bad that I, like, overvalued the better moments.
So I would say it's okay. Watch it for yourself. See what you think.
Great to riff on.
You know, if you want to, I'd watch it with friends, definitely. Because then you can waste their time too. Misery loves company.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Me neither.
The people I know who haven't seen it, I will tell them.
Warn them.
No. Well, unless you're in,
if you're into that, then teach their own.
If you're a huge Wonder Woman fan, it's kind of a must-see. And there are people who are fans of stuff. There's
Great
definitely
cameo.
Movies I will watch because of who's in it.
There was a pretty good Linda Carter cameo, even though you couldn't really tell it was her.
Being beaten by the Spartans, right? Or getting sacrificed.
Yes. She holds the line so the rest of the Amazons can get away, which I think was fair and proper. Kudos to Linda Carter.
Hell yeah.
And we do have another channel where we're going through comic book movies, and so we're going to be revisiting Wonder Woman, but we're actually going back to the beginning.
Yes.
Another channel or another playlist.
Channel or playlist.
Channel or playlist.
We'll figure it out.
So when we do that, we will be visiting a number of Wonder Woman movies, including TV movies, and it's going to be an eye-opener for these guys. I've seen them. I saw them back in the 70s when they came out, and I kind of remember them. And so as we go down through there, we'll talk more about Wonder Woman's origins, her powers, weaknesses. It feels like in this movie and the one before it, her powers were kind of undefined, and the magic lasso got more magical than ever.
It's a Swiss Army lasso.
Swiss Army lasso. It was the
literal plot device.
Yes, it's
you know what? You know how that means God in the machine?
Yes.
Like, that's about as literal as it gets, because actual gods.
Yeah.
And the falling with style.
Falling.
Oh, yeah.
She learned.
That was my favorite thing you said.
That was the best thing said during the whole movie was
Well, okay, she resends her wish, right? Resends it? Rescinds her wish, and it's this touching scene, and then the next thing you know, she Hulk jumps after Spider-Man flying through the air. Then
lasso attached to nothing.
And then grabs onto a plane, which
would have killed everyone on board, I bet.
Which, if the lasso tells the truth, she's stretching the truth. Because it went really far, okay? And then she flings up into the air, and then all the Chris Pine talking about becoming air and coexisting with it. He
taught her the basics of flight, basically.
And then, but she's gliding. She's falling with style because you see her whip her lasso and, pull her. That's still falling. So, but then she does fly, so.
Yeah.
But it just reminded me of Toy Story when Woody was yelling at Buzz.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you.
That wasn't flying.
It's falling.
That was
with style.
falling with style. And the dogs were...
But I don't know. I enjoyed those moments.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know if I would have watched it without you guys.
You know, there were a reverse scale of yours, which I want to try someday. If there was a mirror universe of bad movies on that scale, that would be a solid 3 on that for sure, because there were moments to be had for people who riff on them, like I do. Oh yeah, I get the knives out. And I would rank that solidly there. I do not ever want to revisit it.
Yeah, I wouldn't sit through that again. And it felt long. That's a red flag for me is if it feels long, I like it to be immersive and take me on a wild ride. Throw in some chaos. Don't show me new things and exciting things, and that's why I like the categories I like.
I think the thing that it's almost like just minor tweaks would have made it so much better.
Yes,
such as her maybe being a teenager in the
opening
in the Olympics,
The Jungle Gym Olympics.
The Jungle Gym Olympics.
That would have been an awesome jungle gym when I was a kid.
Because then it could have been a little bit more child prodigy than Mary Sue, which...
Yeah, like, she looks like a little kid.
And, like, it's
Could just be a young-looking actress to give them that much credit, but...
I think it's awesome that they try to empower the small child, that they can do anything that they want. But if they're going up against these other kind of, like, goddesses...
grown athletes who have trained specifically for this.
They would... I don't feel like it's totally realistic.
And there are, like, little holes in the obstacles and a slide.
Yeah, that slide.
She's a little kid. She has the advantage here.
But, I don't know. Just little things like that. I get that you're trying to hit a younger audience for sure, but maybe do a scene before and then put her as a teenager or something in the Olympic or the goddess run of warrior truth and badassness.
What would that be called? I like Jungle Gym Olympics. Let's stick with that.
So, I guess that just right off the bat was like, who wrote this? It was almost like Transformers 2 with the college kids writing it.
Yeah.
Well, and you did call out what did you call it? A Bruckheimer?
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Oh,
Michael Bay.
Oh,
when the
Michael
truck's
Bay
doing
moments.
somersaults and that was
the truck does somersaults.
Usually it comes with explosions.
But no.
I call those scenes Michael Bay moments where it's just over the top and we gotta flip a truck.
And you gotta literally catch a bullet.
With a lasso.
With the lasso.
Oh.
The magical machine gun that only fires a single round.
Yeah.
It was just...
Which, of course, guns only do fire one round at a time, but that's like 200 rounds a minute. Second.
My bag of cats was confused.
Yes. When I find a movie, I try to give it like the benefit of the doubt, as you said, but when there comes a point like, you deserve to be riffed. I honor you as an opponent.
Well, and really, we were talking about it earlier. Wonder Woman, the first major one, is probably the best movie in the DC extended universe.
Yeah.
The other one I mentioned that I think, when I think about what's my favorite DC one, and it'll be interesting once we score all of them, Batman Begins is outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was good. There's been some good ones. And this, as a follow-up, should have been... I don't know. It just should have been so much better than it was.
It should be, in a way, you should think it'd be outstanding because of all the technology and the world shut down, but movies are still being made. You've got all this time. Write something better. I mean...
Well, I think it was made back in 2019.
That was tough, but...
Yeah.
Just go to your source material, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we do our other panels, we won't spend quite as much time picking on a movie. And one of the things we do is we compare the source material to what we've just seen. And so we go into these movies, having read or, researched the source material so we can make that comparison. Most of the time we just do it off what I remember off the top of my head. But sometimes we dig a little deeper. Especially Carter and I really like to dig through trivia. IMDb is a great source of trivia.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie in the last, I don't know how many years without going there and reading the trivia. I really enjoy that. So, but those comparisons are a lot of fun. One of the things we talked about was we don't think that was Cheetah's origin story.
I highly doubt that's how she existed in the comics.
When this one rolls up again, which it will, when we're talking about comic book movies, I don't know. I've never read Cheetah's origin, but by the time we watch it again or talk about it again, I will. And so hopefully we can give you a lot more insight. This was really just for us to introduce you to this scoring system and give us all some common ground to discuss movies, which all of us enjoy. So definitely put your scores in the comments and we'll tabulate them. And like I said, at the end of every panel, we're going to show our scoreboard and we're going to show your scoreboard. So tune in some more.
Thanks for watching.